Sony revealed the PlayStation 5 today. Does Dave care at all? I'm Dave. Does anybody care at all? Does John care at all? This is Forget Being Cool News. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5.
You're watching Forget Being Cool.
Dave, you're coming in hot there.
Hi, John.
Hi, Dave.
How are you?
Tired. Had a long flight.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
If you want to hear more about that, check out Forget Being Cool podcast.
Please don't listen to that episode. It's not very good.
That's true.
Go back like a couple episodes. Go back to
like we first started doing it again.
Yeah, when we first started doing it again, or what's the one where I hurt my butt, because that's a pretty good one. Pain in the ass. Go listen to Pain in the Ass. Anyway, John, you want to know what's a pain in the ass?
What?
Sony announcing Spider-Man 2.
Is that because? Okay, here's my question. We need to start with this question because I don't know the answer to it. Now, it comes out holiday, right?
Yes.
Comes out holiday this year. The PS5 comes out holiday this year. Will it also be on the PS4?
No.
So, but it's coming out. Every game that comes out at the same time as the launch needs to come out on both.
Yeah, not in Sony's opinion. These are these are computer games that can be scaled in multiple ways, built for computers, for PCs, and Sony has decided to put their foot down again and say, "Nope, we're doing a console generation, everybody." So, The Last of Us 2? Well, too bad. Grand Theft Auto 5, which was a multi-platform, multi-console generation game already? That's what we're going to open our show with. Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's start there.
They're putting new content in, right?
Let's start there, John. You do not start with a PlayStation 4 launch title for the PlayStation 5.
Wait, hold on a second. Didn't Grand Theft Auto 5 come out on the Xbox 360,
yes.
PS3?
Yes. And it was there very shortly, if not at launch, for the PlayStation 4 as well. It was a multi-console generation game already.
Now it's going to be multi-console generation. Hey, did you see, Dave, at the end where it's like, hey, everyone who has the game for PS4 and who does the online stuff gets like a certain amount of money like a week, like in-game money a week until it launches on the PS5?
Does their save transfer over?
My guess is yes.
Do they have to buy the game again?
My guess is yes.
Not on Xbox, you don't.
Well, only if that game, but that's only if that game is part of the whatever the Xbox initiative is, the transfers forward. I don't know.
Except that everything is backward compatible. They've confirmed that. It doesn't mean it'll be enhanced. It doesn't mean that it'll be Xbox Series X enhanced.
Well, it's funny because I want to say there's a bunch of like 360 games that'll be Series X enhanced.
Yes, there are. There's tons of games, even Xbox, I think original OG Xbox games that are being Series X enhanced. So Microsoft's doing this magic thing and just saying, "Hey, guess what? All your games work." You know why? Because they should. This is the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 is not a technical limitation. It's a choice. John's sending me Skype emojis. I don't know if they're in the video. We opened the show with GTA 5. That's disgusting. What the hell were you doing?
Some people got excited about that.
I understand the purpose. I understand why they did it, but I also stop it. Come on, show me the games. And you know what they did next, John?
They showed you a game. The whole thing was showing you the games, man.
They showed me a game. It's a game I have to play. Not only that, it has to come out this Christmas. So,
Dave, what am I going to do?
I'm locked in, John. They got me. Now my personal rule before PlayStation 5, always with consoles, buying consoles, my standard rule was there needs to be 3 games at least that I want for that console before it comes out. Or before I buy it.
Okay.
There are 2 games that I want for the PlayStation 5. So they have not completely locked me in, except that I want to play Spider-Man. I want to play it at launch. Like, I don't want to wait 2 years to play Spider-Man until I can get a PS5 on sale. So guess what, Sony? I hate you. I hate you so much. Why couldn't you just put that game on both? And then I would also like my PS4 better because guess what? It would have at least 2 Spider-Man games and at least the other game.
Okay, but how are they not making these things cross-generation when they're coming out during the time? Like, aren't a lot of games cross-generation when, like, at the launch?
All Sony has confirmed is most of your PlayStation 4 catalog will work.
Okay, so here's where my problem happens is, so my son plays all these different games, right? But they're all like, I don't know, I'll call them stupid games. Not stupid, but like he plays Roblox and he plays, like we play some weird like multiplayer games and he plays a lot of Fortnite. But the only time he's ever gotten into like a big story game is Spider-Man. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, the new Spider-Man game's coming out. I'm not going to get it for him because he doesn't ask for things like that, right? And so like it's one of the few where I want to be like, okay, when this comes out, I want you to be able to play it right when it comes out. But if it's coming out with a brand new system, like if I have to have the PS5 to play it, like I don't think that's going to happen. Also, we don't know the availability of the PS5.
No, we don't. We don't know if they'll be on the shelves. We don't know what holiday actually means, right? Like they could be put out in November, sold out in that first week, and never get restocked between that and Christmas, right? Like there's that possibility.
I think this has to be a cross-generation game. Like
it's not. They've said no. They've said every game they showed, every single game they showed during this presentation, except for GTA 5, is the exception, is a PlayStation 5 only exclusive because these experiences are experiences you can only have on PlayStation 5, John. It's the only console that'll give you the experience that we want to give you.
There were other games that they showed that were not PS5 exclusives. Like there were other games in that thing that were also coming to Xbox and whatever else.
but they are not PS4 games. They are not multi PlayStation console games.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Which is crap.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do at this point. Because here's the thing. And so Chris Berto actually wrote a piece on the Mega Dads talking about how Xbox convinced him to buy a PS5 or something like that. And the basis of what he was writing is that Xbox has done such a good job with Game Pass and Game Pass for PC and all that stuff where he can have a high-end PC and then not have to buy the new Xbox One X or Xbox Series X. Mm-hmm. And so he can buy a PS5. But I could play a lot of those games on my laptop. Like I have a laptop that'll play all these high-end games, right? But like my son is still gonna.
Your Xbox is gonna play everything you want to play for the next year after the console comes out, too. You don't need a Series X to play anything. So
what you're saying is I should buy a PS5, and I will tell you, like, there is a big part of me that I would love to go down to one console this next generation. Now, granted, I have my Switch, and I will always have a Nintendo thing, and there's things that come out on the other two consoles that don't come out on the Switch, so I can't be completely one. But between the other big two, I would like to be just one.
I would too. But the problem is Microsoft isn't going to lock me in as much as I would love. And I will love to play Halo Infinite this holiday because that's happening. I'm not upgrading. I can't buy both. I can't buy both, and I have to play Spider-Man. I have to. It is legitimately the only game this console generation, Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, the only Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, that's its own problem. I've talked about this, right? Is the only game this entire console generation that blew me away. Period. I love.
Come on. The Forza Horizon 4 or whatever it was.
All right, fair point.
Right, like that game blew me away.
But Forza's great. Once again, Xbox exclusive, also not something completely new, but if we really want to have that argument, Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 is the same game as Spider-Man on the PS4. PS4 is better. they've locked me in. The other game they announced, because as much as I'd love to sit here and go down the entire list of every single game they announced and tell you how much I hate all the rest of them, which we're not going to do because we're not other podcasts that do that.
So okay,
the only other game that caught my eye, Joe.
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank, shattered apart, divided between universes. What is it called? Ratchet and Clank Between the Worlds. Ratchet and Clank.
I'm actually trying to pull up a list of the games that were announced.
It looks like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which is what I want to keep calling it. I want to call it Ratchet and Clank Shattered Dimensions, but it's not what it is.
So there were actually a number of games that caught my eye, and this is the problem, right? Like, this is the problem with watching that is I was like, oh crap! Like, okay, so Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So
looks beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful. Multi-universal, like crossing the universe, dimensions, timeline, like all that stuff. I love that science fiction crap. I love it. Ratchet turns into a girl at the end. I don't know what's going on there. I'm intrigued. And the only other game that I loved on my PS4 that I played through was the Ratchet and Clank game, which was a remake of the original based off the shitty ass movie that came out. Right?
You know what's funny is I actually got to a point where I could not get past a certain section of that, and I never beat that game.
I think I may have gotten to a point where I got stuck too, but I really did enjoy it till that point.
So here's my problem. So I was watching that, and I was sitting there playing Everybody's Golf, and I was talking on the phone, doing all this at the same time, watching this experience.
I was selling turnips on my Animal Crossing island, so you know.
Yeah. So okay, but there were a number of games that just really caught my eye. And I can't remember all of which. So okay, obviously Horizon Forbidden West. I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. Absolutely loved that game. I cannot wait to play this Horizon game, which is another reason why in time I have to get a PS5, because I mean that's going to come to PC eventually, maybe like Horizon Zero Dawn did.
Maybe,
but Spider-Man, that Bug Snacks game.
What the hell is Bug Snacks?
I don't know, but I want to play it.
Well, that's coming out at launch, too. With Spider-Man, those will be your two games at launch.
So here's another game that I'm very excited to play that was announced during this, but I could play it on Xbox, right? And that's Resident Evil: The Village, or Village Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, whatever.
You didn't care about that at all. What about this Deathloop game? Did you care about Deathloop?
Is that the space Deathloop?
I don't know.
The one
this
where
is stylus actioner to make players running for their lives as they try to escape a time loop that resets every time they die.
Oh no! That's not the same one.
You're thinking of the space one is Returnal.
Yeah, stupid name, Returnal. I love the idea of Returnal. It's Groundhog Day, space aliens manipulating.
With death.
With death, and I'm assuming there's aliens making her do this for some reason. Fascinating. That game looks hard and scary and stressful, and I just don't care about that kind of game anymore. I just don't. Which is why a World of the Bug Snacks, or whatever the heck it was called.
Bug Snacks. That game. There's something about that game, man. It looked too just fun. You know?
Yeah, but see, but that's what I want. I want fun games. That's why Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, and Bug Snacks are the three games that I'm like,
okay,
yep, I'll buy those.
There were some other games that looked really, really good, but I also had a hard time caring about. So, like, Gran Turismo 7 looked amazing, but I just don't care.
Oh, my God.
I haven't played Gran Turismo since 2.
They drove forever.
They really did.
I love Horizon. I love Forza Horizon. Right? Love it. I could not give two Fs about Gran Turismo.
It was an amazing game back in the day.
It looks great. But it's not going to be fun, okay?
Okay, Dave. Let's go through a couple other games. I just want your opinion. So you talked about Ratchet and Clank. I thought that looked good. I will potentially own it at some point. Oddworld Soulstorm looked amazing. Also why I will probably never play it.
Yeah, looked really. Every game looked really pretty.
Okay. What about Hitman 3?
Oh God, please no, please turn it off. It was so dumb.
You don't like Hitman games?
I don't care about Hitman games.
Okay.
It looked pretty.
How about Astro's Playroom?
Um,
This is the Astro Bot guy.
No, I realize that. I don't understand the appeal of it. This is going to be a weird comparison, but I think everybody might understand what I'm saying. It looked like Chibi Robo Ziplash to me.
Okay.
The same way that Sackboy and his World of Sackboy Adventures
Sackboy, a big adventure.
That
game looked good.
Yeah, it looks good. Personally, I agree with the rebranding from Little Big Planet to being Sackboy, a Sackboy game, right? Like
sure.
I'm okay with that transition. Here's my problem with Little Big Planet. I always buy it. I always think I'm gonna make something. I never figure out how to make anything.
Yeah, no, it's done.
I go online and play people's levels for about 10 minutes, realize it's full of crap, and then I am done. Like, there'll be like 3 things that I'm like, that was pretty unique. This is really cool how you made like Angry Birds, except it's not Angry Birds, right? Like,
okay,
people do cool stuff in Little Big Planet, but I'm bored so quickly that I couldn't care less, and Sackboy isn't enough to convince me. Like it feels like trying to be Mario, and it's not.
Okay, Dave, here's one that I've got to ask you about because it intrigued me, and if I get this system and I get this for the right price, I'm gonna buy it, and that is Destruction All Stars.
So whatever this is, I watched this trailer. I don't understand what I'm playing.
So, okay, it seems to me, Dave, that you're doing a destruction derby, but yet you could get out of the car and go punch cars?
Yeah. What? That, as fun as that looks like a free-to-play Battle Royale game. And if that's what it is, I'm 100% on board. But if it's not what that is, then I'm not paying $60 for that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It looked really good for the right price. Maybe it could become a PS Plus thing. I actually recently just upped my PS Plus membership because I got it for pretty cheap for a year.
I did that too.
And so maybe it'll become a free PS Plus game. Here's my question, we obviously have to talk about the hardware in a minute.
Oh, we'll get there.
But here's my question for you, Dave. So I have PS Plus. I have it for the next year. If I get a PS5, am I going to start getting PS5 and PS4 games free as my PS Plus free games?
I assume so, but they'll be very lame PS5 games.
And hopefully decent PS4 games?
And it'll probably be PS4 backward compatible games. That'll be just okay.
Yeah.
John, let's talk about the hardware.
Dave, okay, I need to tell you about a conversation I had directly after the show.
Okay.
Chris Burdo
Uh-huh.
hops in the Megadad's Discord and it's like, someone needs to hop in here and talk to me. He wanted to talk to Adam. Adam wasn't available. He had to got stuck with me. Chris Burdo was losing his shit because of how much he loved the way this hardware looked. I, on the other hand, Dave, think it looks like garbage. I think it looks like bad art that I don't understand, that you're going to see in the middle of downtown somewhere.
I kind of agree with that. It looks like a router from 2004.
See, I didn't even think of that. Like, I thought of like where you see the guy who made like it's like a rectangle that's slightly twisted that goes out in front of the art museum because it wasn't good enough to get inside the doors.
And somehow it's considered modern classic, right? So looking at the DualSense controller right now next to the console,
I don't mind the controller.
I think the controller looks neat. And maybe this is my blindness stepping in here and filling in gaps that aren't really there.
Okay.
The buttons, like the standard X, square, triangle, circle buttons, look
Sure.
concave.
I will have to look that up as we're talking because I am not sure.
It might be an illusion of the way the controller looks. They look concave to me. That seems weird and wrong, and don't do that.
So I'm pulling it up right now. The controller being all white and like the I like the buttons to be colored, even though maybe that's not a normal thing.
I would like it to be the opposite. I would like all the colors to be opposite, because let me tell you what's going to happen to that DualSense controller. It's going to be nasty. It's just going to look nasty.
So I don't think the buttons are as you think. I think it's just because it's that clear thing on it.
Yeah.
And just kind of the way it looks. Okay, so here's my question, Dave. So we've talked about the fact. So there's going to be two models that come out, right? So one is going to be discless, which I am almost okay to do that. I'm almost to the point where I'm like,
So you want to tell
PS4 games, I can just go all digital.
So you want me to tell you why I won't be buying the cheaper one that doesn't have a disk drive?
So you can't return it and return the Spider-Man game you're buying?
No. I mean, I will consider playing Spider-Man as fast as I can just to sell it or to return it within the 14-day period or whatever it is that I have to return it. I can't put any of my PS4 games into the non-digital, and I guarantee you that Sony's not going to be like, well, you put that disc in your PS4, you own it. I'm not about.
Yeah,
to, I'm
no,
not. And I'm not
it's
about.
not gonna
I mean, I'm
happen.
not about to sell my PS4, like by any stretch, because I have the Spider-Man PS4 Pro, and it's very lightly used because all I did is play freaking Spider-Man. I'll probably move it to the living room and use it as a Blu-ray player, but I'll still have a PS4 lying around, I guess, because I'm not about to sell it. But I also don't. I don't also want to be able to be like, I guess I can't put my stupid one PS4 game. You know, it'd be really fun to boot up and play after I beat Spider-Man 2. I go back and play Spider-Man 1 for a little while. Well, can't do that. I didn't buy the one with the disc drive.
You know, I didn't even think about that, and I'm curious to what the cost difference is going to be.
I would be so okay with going all digital. I don't care at this point. They're going to screw us anyway. Something you got to realize, everybody, that the PlayStation 5 is almost here. It's only a matter of time before they say the PS3 and the PlayStation Network and everything that's on the PS3 are just closed. Like, every patch for every PS3 game is no longer available. Every whatever that you have on your PS3 can no longer be downloaded. Like, it's only a matter of time before they say that.
So, Dave, what do you think the price difference between the two is going to be?
Everybody's saying $50. I feel like it's got to be $50. Can't be.
If it's $50, then I'm happy to shell out the other $50 just to have the disc drive, just in case.
If it's $100,
that's a different story too.
What if the all digital one is actually more expensive?
That's not going to happen.
There's
no reason for that.
What if the hard drive in it is larger?
God. Well, then that'd make it easy. I would just get the smaller one. I do hard drive management on my PlayStation.
We all do, because every game is freaking 100 and something gigs, and they're going to give us a solid state drive. It's only going to be 512 megabytes or something. 512 gigs.
That's funny. Okay. As I yawn here, Dave. Okay, here's my next question for you. Mm-hmm. So when they showed off the hardware, they showed off the controller, which we'd already seen. They showed off the system itself. They showed off headphones. They showed off a media remote. They showed off a dual charging thing, and they showed off a camera. Why do they show off all this stuff? Is there any chance it's just going to come with all this stuff? Like, otherwise,
are they going to make you buy it? Now the PlayStation 4 headphones, they bundled them with the PlayStation 4, sucked. You usually got them for free if you bought a PlayStation 4 at Target. I had a pair of those that I got with my.
Yeah, but these look like these are good headphones.
Yeah, they're lying, John.
You think these are crap headphones?
They're either crappy headphones that are included in the box, so that everybody has a headset, which I think would be a smart move forward if they just made everybody have one, right? But then they're junk. They're cheap and nobody likes them. Because they bundled in that little like one-eared stupid dinky microphone in with the PS4. If anybody remembers that, that's somewhere in this house.
Wait, is that the one I have? I thought it was the Xbox one I had that was a one-ear thing that was absolutely horrible.
They bundled it in with the PlayStation 4. I know that one.
Okay.
I know that one came with the PlayStation 4. If they bundle all this crap in and charge people extra money because they bundle all this crap in, they're just gonna piss everybody off, like Microsoft did with the Kinect.
Okay, so here's the question though. Why would they show all this stuff? Like, why? What good does it show? Especially to show the media remote, which don't get me wrong, I have a PlayStation 4 media remote. I like having that, right? I have an Xbox One media remote. I like having that. If I get this, depending on what the purpose and everything of the PS, like what happens to my PS4, my Xbox, where they're placed, I might buy that media remote because it's good to have when you're watching Blu-ray on it. But like, why show all this stuff if it's not going to be packaged in at least with one of the SKUs?
Because they made them, because they designed them, because they're part of the design of this stupid white and black multi-SKU. I almost say they're just showing them to say they're there at launch. I assume that the PlayStation 5 is very similar to the PlayStation 4 in structure, in design, in usability, right? So that that camera does exactly what the PlayStation camera on the PS4 does now. That headset does exactly what any other headset would do. That media remote does exactly what your current media remote does. But you need to have that one to use your PlayStation 5. They're not going to let you use your PlayStation 4 media remote.
Okay, so here's my next question. So Xbox has said that the Elite controllers will work on the Series X.
They've said all controllers.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about. So all the Xbox One controllers, and maybe not the OG Xbox One controllers.
No, all your Xbox One accessories. This is their exact thing that I understood it, the way they said all your previous Xbox One accessories will be compatible with the Series X.
And I'm assuming that is not going to be the case with PlayStation.
Absolutely not, John.
So here's what we're determining from having this conversation and seeing this is that Sony has some amazing games coming out that you have to have the system to play it on until a couple years later when maybe it comes to PC.
Except for Spider-Man, which won't go to anything.
Yeah, probably. Who knows, though? Who knows? So you have this situation. You have to buy for this, but they are not being consumer friendly at all, like Microsoft is.
No, they're not.
Oh,
they're putting their foot down. We're number one. We are number one.
Now, do you think that's why it is, or do you think it's just a different mindset, maybe being a Japanese company compared to an American company?
I think there's a possibility that's it too, but they're also betting on a traditional console generation jump again. They're bidding on this as another jump forward, not gambling it like Xbox and saying this is just an upgraded box again, everybody.
Okay,
and at some point there'll be a cutoff for the games that don't run on the previous box. But for all intents and purposes, I hate that saying, but it is just an upgrade to your Xbox One. Everything's going to look better. At some point, there'll be exclusives for it. There'll be ones that don't run on the Xbox One. This is a cutoff at some point, but not anytime soon. We don't know when that first exclusive Xbox One, non-Xbox One game is. So,
do you think that... So, Xbox kind of cornered the market in services, right? Like they got Game Pass working when Sony was floundering with
View and Now, PlayStation Now.
Right. So Microsoft has kind of cornered this thing and being like, hey, look what we have. Sony is behind the 8-ball by far on this. So do you think that also, like, they sit there and look at that like, okay, well, we're not going to win in this way, so now we just need to go like head charge in on this other way?
That's possible. John, you know what would have made me more excited? is if that's and Sony could still do this, I guess. There's possibility, but I seriously doubt it. Is if Sony had come out and said, "Get ready for PlayStation Pass." It's $10 a month, and
they couldn't name it that. No, they could not call it PlayStation Pass. Like they would get shit on so bad if they called it that.
Look, I'm using the term that everybody would understand at this point, right?
So basically, if they here's how we fixed PS Now.
Yeah, here's how we fix PlayStation Now. It's $10 a month, and every first-party exclusive game you now will get at launch.
Oh my!
As long as you pay $10 a month.
You know how many services I would end up having?
I would pay for that.
I know, but I'm already paying for Game Pass.
I'd cancel Game Pass until something came out for Game Pass.
See, I can't do that because of how much Ryan uses. Like my son uses Game Pass a lot, and he gets to try out a bunch of games a lot and do all these things. I can't. And plus, I travel with my PC, and that's where I get my PC games is from PC Game Pass. Not to mention, it's not that much more than paying for, Microsoft's online service.
Yeah, but if you got that for PlayStation, would you need it?
Then I would always have to travel with my PS5, which I don't know.
You can't travel with that thing. The little spikes will break off.
Yeah, well, so when I travel, by the way, I keep a small suitcase I can put in overhead, and that's where this time my PS4 is in there. My Wii U is in there.
Your Wii U?
Yeah, I'm playing a game on my Wii U right now. Don't judge. All these things are in there, and then my computer and my Switch are in my backpack. So I might have brought effectively 5 consoles with me.
This comes from the guy who thinks he's going to one console this generation.
I would love to. I would so love to.
I hate saying this, everybody. Look, I am not a Sony sheep. I'm not a Sony fan right now. What they're doing is
Sony sheep.
So anti-consumer, so bullcrap. The way that they're treating their customers, the way that they will not confirm anything about backward compatibility. There is no reason that this console, if it's as powerful as they say it is, shouldn't be able to play everything except for maybe PS3 games, because PS3 games are weird as shit. I would understand if there's some sort of weird technical limitation with PS3 games. But if I'm going to buy this disc-based console, there's not a reason I shouldn't be able to put a PS1 game in and play it. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to put a PS2 game in and play it. So and at this point, it's not that big of a deal to make it. If one guy in his freaking basement can make an emulator for a computer that plays on all kinds of computers, there's no reason that a multi-billion-dollar company like Sony can't make their own games with their own proprietary hardware run on their console. So I wish that Sony was giving me a box that I felt like was just another upgrade. The way that the Xbox does, right? But now, because of Spider-Man, because of Ratchet and Clank, and because Xbox has only got Halo at this point, right?
And because you should really want to play Horizon, because it's a great game.
Screw Horizon.
It is such a good game, man.
I suck at it so bad. It's too complicated. I already know.
Good. Get good,
I'm
Dave.
not that good. That's why I play Ratchet and Clank and
Bug Snacks.
And Bug Snacks.
I want to play Bug Snacks so bad.
The problem here, Sean, I will buy the PlayStation 5. I will probably get it for Christmas. I will get Spider-Man at launch of Spider-Man, right? Because that's the decision they've put me in. Because it's either play Spider-Man,
yeah,
or don't. And I don't want to not play Spider-Man.
Dave, do you think this limits them on being able to have these special edition ones for games like Spider-Man? They were able to make a Spider-Man PS4 because the PS4 had been out for a while, but you don't launch a system with a special edition, do you?
Sometimes you do, but sometimes you do a special launch edition.
Maybe. I don't know.
There were those Xbox One X's that had special premiere edition or whatever it said on it. It was slightly bluer. You're right. They're not going to give me a Spider-Man PlayStation 5, which, God, would be hideous. it'd be the grossest looking console.
What if? Okay, so have you ever seen those buildings like in downtowns where they have the buildings that are kind of artsy looking? So what if they made the thing look like one of those artsy buildings and had like a Spider-Man character attached to the outside climbing it?
Oh, that is actually kind of cool. You're right. That is cool. Make it a building. Make it a New York building, and put a Spider-Man logo on it. That would be kind of neat.
Yeah, because I have definitely seen like buildings in downtown Houston that have that same artistic style as this stupid looking PS5.
At least it can lay horizontal, it seems.
It does. But I mean, the Xbox Series X probably lays down too.
Oh yeah, it does. No, they've confirmed that. We've seen
just like I lay down my fridge.
We know everything about the Xbox Series X except the games. And the price. And all we know about the price. Sony, we know nothing about the console, nothing about the services, nothing about really anything other than that it looks like that.
Here's the thing is, I think we do know these things, right? Like, I think we know the services aren't going to be there. I think the specs and all that stuff have already been out, right? Like, I don't think there's anything else to know about either one of them, except for like Xbox, some games, and then the price for both. But Sony didn't announce the price. So when is Xbox going to announce the price? When are these prices coming out, Dave? When are they coming out? And will I know this is all about the PS5, but when the price is coming out, and will Xbox do the thing where it's like this amount a month, you get the system.
Oh, see, I forgot about the like the phone plan thing.
Yeah, I stumbled across a thing at Best Buy through an email a couple days ago that was for the Xbox One S, and it was like $22 a month for the next 2 years,
and then you own it.
You get the Game Pass Ultimate, and you get the console.
Right. If Sony did that, I wouldn't be so angry. Even if somewhere in the $30 a month range, if I paid for it for the next 2 years, I get PlayStation Plus, right? Fine. That's fine. I'll pay for that. I just want Sony to be consumer friendly for once.
If Sony and there's no indication Sony would do this. Like honestly, I want to know if Microsoft is doing it for the new one.
I hope so,
because that's a realistic question.
And that would push me over the edge to say like I'll upgrade my Xbox.
Yeah, I would definitely get it sooner. But if Sony does that, where I can get the Sony Online and the console for a certain amount of money a month, no money down, there's a lot better chance I'm going to upgrade to a PS5 early on. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to look at my son, put my hand on his shoulder, look down in his teary eyes, and say, "I'm sorry. Just don't watch any spoiler videos on YouTube for Spider-Man right now because I can't justify buying this at this moment."
This thing better be $4.99 or less. It's not gonna be, but it better be. Because if this thing comes out and they say $5.99, John, I'm out. I'm out of gaming. Like how these people always go like, I hit my 30s and I quit gaming. Because I had kids and a life to live, right?
A life to live.
A life to live. I don't know why I became Marty.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't edit that out. Should I edit that out? Probably not. Marty,
probably not.
But I love Marty.
No.
But if they do that, if they put me into that like it's $5.99, I'm gonna be like, I can't justify that for Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank and Bug Snacks. Bug Snacks should be a free Game Pass game.
Bug Snacks better be in VR. I will tell you though, I didn't expect to see anything about it, but if they like haven't upgraded VR, that's gonna be the one's gonna be tough for me. But
I think that's it, John. I'm upset. Also, I feel like every game that's notable that they announced should have been a PlayStation 4 game, and we should be going another 3 years on the PlayStation 4. But that's a personal opinion of mine that no one seems to agree with.
I don't know. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, generations are basically over with." Generations aren't over with.
No, because Sony put their foot down and said they're not.
Like, we said so.
That's pretty much it. And Nintendo's not going to put out a Switch, an upgraded Switch that's going to just be like, Nope, all your games just still work. Your Nintendo account's just here and still working. Everything that's on the NES Online is still here. They're not going to do that.
Know.
They're going to be like, here's the Wii 2. That's what's going to happen because it doesn't make any sense. Here's the GameCube 2.
That would be amazing. Like, not portable. Like all the stuff that's innovative about the Switch just goes away, and it's just this cube.
Yeah.
I'd buy it day one.
You got to slide cartridges in like forward into it.
Yeah. And no, it just opens up like Cookie Monster. You put it out every time it goes nom 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 nom. Anyway, Dave.
That's it. Before we go down to our GameCube 2 discussion, this has been Forget Being Cool News. The PlayStation 5 is almost here. I'm Dave Moore. You can follow me at Tell You Dave. You can follow John at Johnny_Casino. Thank you for watching Forget Being Cool. If you guys want more discussions like this, we discuss the things you love. We have a podcast that's not funny anytime ever on ForgetBeingCool.com. We'll see you guys next time here at Forget Being Cool.
For more great discussions, hit that subscribe button or visit forgetbeingcool.com.